Hello and welcome to Bookish, Meet the Authors, part of the In the Limelight Network. I'm your host, Nyssa, and joining me today is the brilliant Michele Blood to talk about her transformative book, The Magic of Affirmation Power. Hi, Michele.
Hello, Nyssa. Lovely to be here on Bookish.
Thank you for joining me today. I'm so excited to have you.
Yeah, it's really wonderful that I feel people are getting more and more back into reading, which is so great.
Yes. I started to feel that way too. I'm trying to slowly read more and more, or at least make it a habit. But you are someone who's very fascinating. You were a rock star in Australia. But then you also had a horrific car accident, and then you healed your body through music and affirmation. How did you create this whole book, this whole career that you've created because of this?
Well, it's a really fascinating story. I'll attempt to make it as short as possible, but I think it really is something that people can relate to. If you had seen certain people that write books and do certain things, you want to come from a place of something new, something that hasn't been taught before, or at least is taught to you in a way that you can relate to. And my whole mission in life is keep it simple and yet still spiritual. Not keep it simple, stupid. Forget about that one. I was on my way home from a gig and I was in a truck with all the musical equipment. My band had just finished playing to 6,000 people just up near Brisbane, actually, not far from there. Oh. And we had to drive all the way back to Sydney for the next gig. So, as you know, having lived there for a little while, that's a long haul. Yeah. And we didn't have the beautiful freeways that we've got in Australia now. Maybe you don't think they're so beautiful, but our freeways, we just had
I thought the whole country was beautiful, but that's just me.
Just road. Well, it is. Oh, I think it is beautiful. But anyway, so he fell asleep because it was a long drive, 12, 14 hours in the truck. And as the passenger, I was crushed into the telephone pole. So I was in the hospital for months and months and months. And I don't want any of your wonderful viewers to lose their breakfast, lunch, or dinner, but because it was pretty horrific what happened. And so that is I thought my life was perfect. It was really rough and tough. It is tough being the lead singer, the manager of the band, and all the different things you have to be disciplined to do what I did and to get success doing that, which we did. But and songwriting and doing videos. It sounds like it's all very glamorous, but it's really hard work. But I loved it. Anything to get on the stage every night, it was worth all the hard work to do that. So being in that hospital, I thought my life was over, Nyssa, because I thought if I can't be singing and dancing on the stage and doing all the wild things I used to do, working with my band, it was like, what, people would say, well, you'll still be able to sing if you can't walk properly again. And I'd be like, yeah, but it's the whole thing. I'm an entertainer. It's the whole thing. And so I went into a deep depression and something happened to me that totally changed the trajectory of my life. And it was I went from the worst thing that you could possibly ever happen to you to making that the best thing that ever happened to me in my life and blessing my entire life completely.
That's amazing. Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's a lot of work. And then to lose one aspect, and it's something I've assumed that you love every part of it. And then to lose one part of it is tough. I get it. But hey, you found something positive out of it. And that's amazing, right? You saw the light at the end of the tunnel to do something different, which is a lot harder than you think, right?
Yeah. So what happened, which is so amazing, is people were putting on different audio programs to try to cheer me up. And I couldn't move to turn them off. So that's going to make you very annoyed, like, because when you're oscillating at a different vibration to everyone else, whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, or whatever it is that you're going through, when someone comes out and they look like they've just created daisies everywhere they've walked, it doesn't actually make you feel good because you're down here and they're up there. They're doing their best to cheer you up, but they're not Patch Adams. They're not doing a good job. So what changed my life is a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, Nyssa, you'll probably say, how could that book help you? Are you saying that?
Yeah, I mean, the title doesn't quite match up with
The circumstances.
Yeah.
Well, the circumstances were this. This book is about, it still sells millions of copies all over the world. It was created, published in the 1920s,
Wow.
and it was written about how millionaire entrepreneurs, male millionaire entrepreneurs in America became rich.
Yeah.
And why would a female rock singer give a hoot about that? You know, why would I? Why would that change my life? Well, Napoleon Hill, the author, what happened was he had a little boy that was born completely deaf. And he started talking about autosuggestion and positive thinking and affirmations, and how he would go into his little son's room every night, go, "You hear perfectly. You are a strong man." You know, all these every night for years. His little boy ended up going to a normal hearing school, born 100% deaf, mind you, got 30% of his hearing back, and went on to become a multi-millionaire in the hearing aid industry. But the thing that changed my life, Nyssa, and I know what you're going to know what it is, right?
What was it?
The affirmations, the
Yeah,
autosuggestion. I'd never heard about that. I'd never been in motivational or transformational stuff because I was in the rock world. It's a totally different world. It's 360 degrees. But I believed it. I believed that this man had healed his son. And I knew that I was a strong personality with a strong will and very disciplined, and that I could do these affirmations and heal my body and get back to my life. But did it work? No. The affirmations, I kept saying, because an affirmation, you've got to say a positive affirmation about yourself to yourself as if it's already happened, even if it hasn't. Mm-hmm. So I was saying, I am healed. I wasn't. I know I am. I didn't. I love myself. I am my friend. Oh, I was nearly suicidal about not being able to get back on stage. So none of that was true. So I thought, okay, all right, you beauty, I've got the perfect affirmation. It's all the things that isn't true right now. So I kept saying it over and over again. Didn't work. And the reason, Nyssa, it didn't work is because when you say an affirmation, you have to emotionalize it when you're saying it. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise, and they didn't know about the brain as much as they do now, neuroscience, but the short-term memory, which is actually the doubting mind, will spit it out. It'll just spit it out if you don't believe it's true. Yeah. So I ended up singing my affirmations because with a song, you can't get the song out of your head.
Yeah, that makes sense. And also there's a muscle memory to it too, right? For you and singing all of that. You kind of, you get it into your body just by actually singing it.
Yes. That's amazing. So it's like the left brain is the affirmation or lyrics, if you want to call it the affirmation lyrics. The right side is the melody and the music. It goes straight into the subconscious mind. It's been proven now to work 300 times faster than any other method for healing yourself or attracting success or getting yourself out of your doubting, fearful mind. And so I went on to have miraculous healing, went on to create hundreds of different affirmation songs working all over the world by Proctor, Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, because they all wanted to work with me. And I had no intention of giving up the rock part of my life, but it just ended up taking over. Everyone was wanting to hire me all over the world, not just to sing the affirmations at these huge seminar events. And I'd never heard of Bob Proctor or Deepak Chopra or any of these people. But they said, this is amazing. Why hasn't anyone else done this? Because you've had Eastern chanting with music, but not a specific, I'm a magnet to money, or I am healed, or success, or persistence, with this great music and, you know, professionally done by a professional musician. So that's how it started. And then I started writing books about it because I wanted people to understand you don't have to do anything but listen to it. But I wanted them to go deeper and deeper, which is why my latest book, The Magic of Affirmation Power, is explaining visualization, affirmations, giving you tons of affirmations, letting you know how to release the fear, talking about meditation if you want to go a little bit deeper, and so much more in a way that anybody from any level or any walk of life can easily understand. Yeah. And that's the reason I think my books have been put into so many different languages over the years, is because people get it.
Yeah. And so through your journey, so what do you think can help someone? How can how can someone change their life for the positive and have success if they really want to? Like, so you're talking about yours. So what is the key thing you think to being able to have that positivity?
Well, I think it's about harmonizing your life. I think every single person on the planet, and I've worked now in 26 different countries with different cultures and languages, and I find every single person is the same. Everybody wants to be happy. They want to have harmony in their life. They want to do something where they feel of service and of purpose, because that is what gives you fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
So if people are in their doubting mind is telling them they can't do it, what they've got to do is at least get beyond that frequency, which has now been proven scientifically. We all are a vibration, a frequency. So we've got to get beyond the doubting mind frequency, which is where most people oscillate.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. And I can do it. It's like the air conditioner. You get up there, you're pumped up. You might have gone to a seminar for a day, or you listen to an audio program, and before you know it, you're back at 70. So if you want to get beyond that 70, go to 75 and stay there, 80 and stay there, 85. You have to change your mode of thinking, your mind, and you can't always do it yourself.
No.
That is why listening to the singing affirmation songs and listening to them, whether you like them or not, it's like that's how kids learn their ABCs. You can't get certain jingles. You know the Vegemite song in Australia?
I don't remember it, but I'm positive, of course, I've heard it.
I won't sing it because I probably can't for copyright reasons, but that's why advertising agencies spend billions, not millions a year on jingles.
Yeah.
The product stays in your head whenever you hear the jingle. And that's what you want to have happen with music. It changes your vibration, the music itself. And then the lyrics get into your head. And before you know it, you're singing, I'm a magnet to money. Or I am success, or I am persistent. And you don't realize. So the one day that the person feels, oh, I'm not as in much fear. Yeah. Another thing that they can do is they can just simply say, okay, I'm feeling a lot of fear. We don't want to, cover it up. You don't want to have an unbaked cake with icing on top of it.
It's kind of what it's kind of the idea of like, if you don't face the fear or realize that it's there, it's like putting a band-aid over the problem. It's like, it's never going to actually fully heal. You're just going to end up putting plaster against the walls to cover up the holes instead of actually fixing it.
That's a really good analogy, but a band-aid without any sticky on it.
Yeah.
It's just
or it's like that for people, they cover a hole, right? This is leaking. Let me cover this. And then the leak comes over here, and the leak comes out there, and the leak comes out there until you actually fix the problem. I think it kind of reminds me of Rocky Horror. The line that Frankenfurter says, I'll relieve the cause, but not the symptoms. It's kind of like you kind of need to fix the actual what's causing it, not just the symptoms here and there.
Well, it's a perfect analogy, Nyssa. That's great. I love it.
Although it's reversed, if you think about it, actually you need to remove the cause. That you're taking care of the symptoms, not the cause. But in the song, but it always makes me think of that, because I was like, you need to fix the problem.
Makes me think of the Three Stooges, with their things.
Yeah.
It's like
that's how people sometimes live their lives without realizing that that's all they're doing is just covering up the problem, not fixing it.
It's an old adage, isn't it? The analogy of insanity is doing the same old thing over and over again,
expecting different results.
Yeah. So if you have a fear, the best thing to do is just acknowledge, okay, I acknowledge, I'm not going to try to just go and watch mindless hours of TV and the thing that I'm fearful of will go away. First of all, find out what it is that you're fearful of.
Yeah.
What are you afraid of? Face it. Even if you feel afraid, take some action, do something about it. It doesn't matter if it's a bill you don't think you can pay or whatever. If you let yourself take some positive action, the way this universe works, it is so benevolent and beautiful. Yeah. And everything is possible if you can get out of that doubting mind and into the sunshine.
Yeah. And it's hard.
You have to pass over a terror barrier. Yeah. It's not, and I'm glad you said it's hard, because when people say, oh, you can just get rid of it immediately, they're not telling you the truth. They're trying to sell you something. You know, it is challenging, but
Mhm.
it's not impossible.
No.
You can, wherever you are right now, anyone that's watching this, you can jump over that terror barrier. Even if you feel scared, I love the way Bob Proctor says, do it scared, but do it. Take
Yeah.
some action.
Isn't the quote, isn't there a quote that says courage is not the absence of fear, but is the fact that you're able to do it anyway?
Amen, sister. Exactly.
Yeah, that's something, that's the whole point of courage. It's not the absence. It's the fact that you face, you acknowledge it and you face it anyway. That's what
Exactly. But, you know, there are certain techniques and things that one can do. But as I like to say, you can do it on your own, but you can never do it alone.
Yeah.
So if people realize that and feel it's okay to get out there and, you know, maybe it's a book that's going to help you, or an audio program if you prefer to hear your books on, you know, on
audio.
MP3.
Yeah.
I was only going to say on tape.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things that we still say, but then you realize like, but we don't do those things anymore. But it became part of the like dialogue or like how you speak. Sometimes you go, wait, that hasn't aged well. that's not how we say.
Yeah. I know. But I still love books. I mean, I always sell all my programs in every way you can, technically, MP3s or whatever it is. But I still love the feel of the book. And when it's a positive book, I feel the energy from it. I can feel, no matter whose book it is, if it's a really positive book, I feel the energy of it. And it just feels good to look at it. It's like, I did an interview with an old friend of mine I've worked with for on and off for years, Jack Canfield, the other month, 2 months ago. And he said, when I look at this cover, Michele, he said, I just feel like I want to smile.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It has that, like, it has a very calming effect to it as well.
Well, it's got all the affirmations under there.
Yeah.
Carry me away with courage and faith, synergy. I greet this day with love in my heart. I can do it. You can do it. This is synergy, communication, all the different songs, all the affirmation songs that you get to listen to. I've even got one for kids.
Oh, wow. Second, I wanted to make this comment earlier. You have a beautiful voice, if I didn't say it earlier, when you sang that little.
But Dr. Chopra said, why don't you do one for kids? So I did this one, Self-Esteem, Songs for Kids. I can do it. And they listen to, I can do all these voiceover stuff. So I did all these voiceovers for all the little endangered animals in the world. And they're talking in their little baby voice to the little child, saying where they're from, what they eat, why they're endangered. And then they sing a song with me, like I love my family. I give them kisses and hugs. And
that's amazing.
Anyway, it's really adorable.
It's a good thing to start to practice to learn when you're young, right? But speaking of learning, and the fact that you have all these, so you have all over the world, the people that are your students for your mystical experience, from how did they become part of it, and how does it transform someone's consciousness, and what sort of person is interested in a spiritual path?
Well, the thing is, it's really quite interesting how that happens. I got off the grid for about 10 years to study with an enlightened teacher and meditate and go really deeply, because once you start oscillating at a higher frequency, you want more. You want to discover more about what your life is. Why am I here? Who am I? And I actually became awakened, a very rare thing, as my teacher is. And, after many years of study. And so then I was guided to start teaching meditation, but do it in a really different way. Take advantage of all the experience I'd had of being on stage, the affirmation music, and bring in people from all over the world who want to, maybe some of them just want to relieve a little bit of suffering in their life from healing of their body, or they want to improve their business. So I started doing these events to assist them. And I would go deeper and deeper and deeper into all of these events. Then I started the Mystical Experience, which is a membership. And so people can go into it and just have, because I can transmit light and I do prayers. And so I sort of lift them up, what comes through me with that transmission of light, which is a vibration, so that if they can't do it on their own, if they can't even put a CD on or an MP3, at least that brings them up, and they can feel it. You can feel the light coming through your head. A lot of people can feel it. So I started doing, with my business partner, John and Dara, I started doing all of these. He said, look, let's get you out there again, because I was, as I said, I went off the grid.
Yeah.
So we started doing hundreds of videos on all these different topics. What is reincarnation? What is karma? What really are all these things, which I hadn't studied, which I just got the downloads. Once you've become awakened, you know these things. Some of the things I'd read about from Yogananda and Swami Muktananda, but most of it was just downloaded from all the deep, deep, deep meditation that I was doing for hours and hours and hours every day. And so then people would say, okay, I'm going to go to you, Michele, and we're going to do this for a while so that I can become more successful. Then they become more successful. They make more money. And when people actually say, if you go and watch Michele's videos, you will find you've got good luck for the next year. Even if you just watch one video. I don't say it, they say it. But it's not luck. It's something that I call learning or loving under correct knowledge, just allowing that to come through. And then if people want to go much deeper and really get into mysticism and who they are, well, then I teach all the different students at different levels of where they are and what they want. And so that's what we do in the mystical experience.
So basically, someone who wants to learn more about themselves and get more in touch with being self-aware who's ready to go on that journey. Or
someone who just wants to be healed because they're not healed. They're in pain, physical, emotional. They don't have enough money. I love to get people lifted up so that whatever they're struggling in, wherever they're suffering, to assist them in those areas of their life first, because there's no way you can go deeply into wanting to know about yourself when all this, can I say crap I just did? Okay, too late.
Well,
I'm Australian.
No, it's fine. You're fine.
When all this crap is going on around them and they're in fear and doubt. So that's the first thing I do with those people, get them out of that. I went through that. Everyone goes through it. Yeah. People oscillate back and forth with that stuff all the time. So we push through that wall first. Bam.
Yeah. It's I remember someone once telling me sometimes it's hard to change or grow whatever it is if some of the tools you have since you were little or whatever it is are not helping you anymore. But it's hard to make anything else if all you have the ingredients for is pumpkin pie, because that's all you know how to make and that's all you know what to use. So how do you change? How do you make it all you have are those ingredients? And learning all these things is getting all those other ingredients to help you move forward, because you can't go anywhere if all you have are these ingredients, but they're not servicing you anymore in some way.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's so, and so people say, oh, sometimes there's people that do
Yeah.
their affirmations, and they go to some seminars and they listen to these tapes and hear about the law of attraction, but they're just so frustrated. They feel like, God, I'm really doing good. But there's just one fine little hair. I'm away from that success that I want. And that's where I let them assist them to break through to that barrier. Just break that little hair off and get to that next level. Because once they're just in a few degrees at a higher frequency, well, then they're off and running. Then they're on what I call a spiritual momentum, because you've got to get a project or something done when you're on the wave. But you've got to get on the wave to start surfing the wave. First of all, you can't be just paddling out and, I fell off again. And one of the things that is so crazy, but so simple, that makes a huge difference is get rid of your old crap in your home.
Yeah.
Clean out your home.
That's one of the things I want to do before New Year's. I want to start the new year with getting rid of all that stuff. That's what I'm trying to do.
It's so great. It clears consciousness. It makes you feel good about yourself. You've got more self-esteem because you're like, oh my God, I'm opening my wardrobe and there's actually room to hang up something.
Yeah.
It's not all messy. It makes you feel so good. And then also what I suggest to people is, also don't give those old clothes away to the homeless. Go online to Target or Kmart, get a whole lot of kids' clothes or something and send it to the St. Vincent de Paul. Send it to the Salvation Army. Don't give the poor your old crap. Then you feel good and you're making way for more good in the world. And if you don't have enough money to give clothes away, at least get rid of your old clothes so that you will feel good about yourself and that your life will be in order. Make your bed every day. Don't leave washing up in the sink. these little things bring your oscillation down so much. It really makes a huge difference. So just little tiny things.
Now, I know you have something special to offer my listeners. Want to share what that is?
Yeah, this is amazing. What we've decided to do is I've got over $300 of my best-selling products, including this book, Magnetic Creative Visualization, some events, for a free month in the Mystical Experience, some larger events we're doing, all included for just $10. Some of my most, the Songs for Success, which has been downloaded millions of times, that I did with Bob Proctor from The Secret, that album, and just so many other things. I don't even remember them all, but it's all there for just $10. And even if someone couldn't even afford $10, energetically, it's good to pay for something, because you just feel you've paid for it, even though it's $300 worth of products for $10. But even if someone didn't even have they could just email us. They can get it from micheleblood.com, our email address, and I'll gift it to them if they can't even afford the $10. All they've got to do is go to My Divine Success. Oh, no, it's not it. Sorry. micheleblood.com/bookish. And that is spelled MICHELEBLOOD.com/bookish.
Good to know. Thank you. And I'll probably include that in the description as well. So where can people find you and your book?
The book, The Magic of Affirmation Power, you can get my main product website is just magnet2success.com, magnet2success.com, or they can get it anywhere, really. My products and books. All my music is on iTunes, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, so many different websites and places.
It's easy to find you. And on social media, where can people find you if they want to connect with you?
I don't look after the social media. Forgive me. I know that we've got a big station on YouTube, /Michele Blood.
I think everything of yours, I think all of yours is under your name. And I believe that we'll have the link. We'll put it in the description as well. So
I know my team only a couple of years ago started Facebook back up, because 10 years ago when I went off the grid, I took down everything, and I even took it down so you couldn't even save it. So I know that they've just started it all up again now that I've decided to get this message out there. And during the lockdown, it helped me get the message out there, because I used to put on my big events. People would fly in from all over the world.
Wow.
And I couldn't anymore. And I realized there were so many people who wanted to learn about the affirmations and go back to what really works at that level. And so I started doing so many events and podcasts and TV shows that I love doing it this way. I mean, we've got to look at the positive in every single way. But anyway, I've talked too much.
No, it was lovely talking to you. Thank you for joining me, Michele. It was lovely having you on the show.
Congratulations on your show.
Thank you. And I wish you continued success, and and all the amazing things that you're doing. And thank you everyone for joining me, and I'll see you next time on Bookish Meet the Authors. Bye for now.